At this point in time, I would prefer to short the market instead of longing the market. Why is that so? Because it's trading above the daily opening price between 3 to 3:30, and we are right now above midnight opening price as well, so we are in premium. The other thing is that generally, if I want to see the price go higher, I should expect to see the price go lower first to take out sell stops before reversing back up, but right now it's doing the reverse opposite. Therefore, I'm bearish. Right, so right now I'm bearish. I'm looking for SMTs on the highs. Below Asia's low right here, this is a 6-hour fair value gap. I think it can run into that sell side liquidity there. The other thing is that we have taken out Asia's high for ES, but NQ is not willing to do so. On the 5 minutes, once I get a closing price below this closing candle below this bullish order block, I'm gonna look for shorts. This idea here will be invalidated if Nasdaq takes out Asia's high. Overall, for this entire week, I would be focusing on Monday's high and lows until it has taken out the one side of it. I do not think that we are going to stay within Monday's range. Therefore, once it attacks one side of Monday's range, I will assume that it's going to reverse to the other side. On the higher time frames, it is higher probability if I'm going to trade or look for longs this week, because it's the final week of April and we have expanded quite a large range last week. Therefore, personally, I'm not anticipating further downside until we get to some premium PD arrays on the daily time frame. If price is to trade lower, when this candle closed and formed this swing high here, price should drop. If it does not drop, then NQ is probably going to take out Asia's high. By the way, I'll be trading my new top step combine here, right here. This is the ID, and I've taken no trades and I've just started today. I'll share my progress throughout this journey, if you would call it that. Right, maybe I should put the title, How to Pass a Trading Combine. Okay, just joking. Now, because I'm just looking at quarterly time frames, I'm not looking for large. I'm not looking to hold for large range expansions, which means like higher time frame expansions. I'm only holding for quarterly expansions. Okay, if you want to put it that way, because this theory here, or this concept here, is basically SMT, but with quarterly theory. You can find out more about quarterly theory from Trader Day, DAYE. Right, when you look at the price action like this, price is not willing to trade lower, and for the first 2 minutes of this current 5 minutes candle, it has created a discount wick below the opening price. So to me, this looks like it's going to expand higher, which means NQ is probably going to take out Asia's high. I have no problems with that, because later on during the New York session, we're going to have a rate folder news at 9:45. That should inject some form of volatility into the markets, and at that point of time, I will see if one of the indices are leaving Monday's high. Okay, so Monday's high will be my gauge. If I'm going to short, I want to see SMTs on the Monday's high. Highest probability SMTs occur between ES and NQ. So preferably I want to see that. It's just the first 2 days of the week, Monday and Tuesday. I'm not in a hurry. Price is probably in a manipulation, right? And with that said as well, because we're anticipating higher prices for indices for this week, right? We should want to see lower prices first. But if you take a look at the weekly candle, it did not have a, it basically just traded below the weekly open on Monday, and then right now we are way above that. As well as, what do you call it? We don't have news on Wednesday, and we have high impact news or rate folder news packed 8:30 and 10 on Thursday and Friday. So if that's the case, I'm expecting Thursday reversal, right? So let's just say we go higher from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we go higher, then I'm expecting Thursday and Friday to be reversal in sync with the higher time frame bias and the higher time frame order flow. Alright, 30 more seconds till this candle close. I am not seeing the willingness to trade lower just yet. This session here is going to last, it's going to end at 4:30 London, right? Because from London, I would prefer to have my entries between 3 to 4, and best case scenario 3 to 4, and if wants to drag into the 4 after 4, then I'll have to get it between 4 to 4:30. That's like the borderline, right? It's not the best, but sometimes setups do happen during that time zone. During that time period. Right, so far we have closed below the consequent encroachment of the wick of the previous candle. Right now, let's see if it wants to close below this level that I've annotated. NQ has not taken out Asia's high, which is something that I want to see if I want to go for shorts, which is what I'm trying to do, and I'm planning for it. Okay. So far we have consolidation in Asia and consolidation in London's Q1. If we are going to continue to consolidate during London, then we would naturally expect a very nice expansion during the New York AM session. I will also be trading that session, and obviously I will be more happy if it is to consolidate during the London session. As you can see right here, Q1 and Q2 during the London session, we're trading between or within the Asia's range. So I think that is a good indication that we might want to consolidate longer, right? That would be great for me. For all three indices, there is a 1 hour fair value gap below Asia's low. For ES and NQ in particular, they have a volume imbalance below Asia's swing low. So that's a high probability target if it ever provides. So far, if you take a look at the 90 minutes chart, we have been chopping around the bullish fair value gap, and that bullish fair value gap is yesterday's 12 o'clock to 1:30's candle. So if you're really bullish, you should not want to see price consolidate inside your fair value gap, right? This basically tells you that order flow is very weak to the upside, which is naturally the case. That should be the case because higher time frames we are bearish. Okay, so far there's nothing that I can utilize, nothing to key off from. It's the same level, it's boring, and as it should be boring. So if it closed below, and for shorts, what would I be looking for? I think let's measure up maybe 5 handles. this would be, oh, this is 12 handles. Okay, I'll look for this then. I will look for this. So in this case, risk to reward would be about 3. Not sure how they calculated this, but it should be a short, right? Yep, 2.35. I mean, that's not too bad. I will only be using one contract because this is the 50k account. So for 50k account, your maximum drawdown, it's actually only 2000. So you don't really want to risk or take on 2 contracts because that is going to elevate your risk. And it's pretty hard to come back, right? And if you're in drawdown, your mental state is not going to be the best. Let's see, this is the second candle closing below the consequent encroachment here at this candle, right? 325's candle. So to me now, order flow is looking bearish. Okay, but I still have to wait till we get a closing price below this green candle here, because that should confirm the expansion, right? I do not want to be in a position whereby price just accumulates. That is sickening to watch and frustrating. kind of lost my memory on how to pronounce that word. Frustration, right? It's frustrating to frustrating. Never mind. It's annoying to hold that kind of position. Okay, now it seems like it wants to give me what I'm looking for. I'm just gonna be patient and wait for the close. I'm not gonna FOMO in or what. Right, so since I have this expectation, I'm gonna go down into the 1 minute time frame to look for any PD arrays that I can key off from. If it closes below this low and not take out this low, then obviously we have this up close candle, we have this down close candle here. This is your potential breaker. So this level here, let's just put it right here, and stops will be right here, 3 points into Asia's low, right? I'm not going to be concerned about that first. Okay, I'm just going to look for the best risk to reward here, right? And that should be around somewhere around the consequent encroachment of this order block here, which I think it's pretty okay, right? So let's just see. If I can't really key off anything, then I'll have to use the order block itself if it ever closes below. Okay, I'll have to use maybe the opening price, since it's a volume imbalance. I could use that. London sessions are usually very lethargic. Asia's low, that will be my target for a yes if it ever closes below that level that I've annotated. Now this is why I say that I want to wait for the close below, right? Because you can have price action like this and then it's just not going to give you what you're looking for. Basically low resistance liquidity runs. As you can see on the candle body here, we are making lower lows, right? Price is not respecting this down close candle here as it should, because if we are in a bullish order flow and we are expanding above this original consolidation right here, we should see low resistance liquidity runs, but right now we don't have that. So the higher probability of price action wanting to trade back into the range and into the other extremity of the range is more likely to happen. We're going to approach 350, that is the macro. So if we continue to consolidate before the macro, then I think we could expect a very nice price action during the macro. And if that's the case, during the macro, price should spool to Asia's low. Whether we get an entry or not, I can't guarantee. And the other thing that I want to point out is that if we ever get to Asia's low, New York AM sessions profile will be seek and destroy. Okay, so taking out Asia's highs and lows during the London session, that should tell you, and that will tell you, that New York AM session is going to take out London's high and lows. Pretty simple, very basic right here. Right, 2 more minutes. Burning candlesticks. If I'm not wrong, it's like this phrase here is like from some ICT Twitter spaces. Can the price trade back into discount of this range but not take out Asia's low? That is very possible, as what we have seen yesterday. Right, so for yesterday, this is Asia, its consolidation. Price is trading above Asia's high, closed below this order block, came back up for a short, did not take out Asia's low, leaving it right below Asia's low. We have a liquidity void as well, so that is very clear objective, right? So since it refuses to do so, it continues higher into London, and during London, this is where we got the sell-off into that liquidity void down here. So that can happen, which is why I've shown my stop losses. Alright, seems like we're not gonna get a shorting opportunity here during London. Let's see. We're 1 minute into the macro. I mean, it looks like it's taking some short-term highs on the lower time frames. Engineering another swing high, intermediate swing high on the 5 minutes. I mean, that's how I'm looking at it right now. So let's see. So it's going to form like a head and shoulders pattern here. So let's see. But eventually I think it's gonna go higher, right? Just basically trading down into Asia's low and then reversing higher into Monday's high. Well, let's take a look at the weekly manipulation range. So this is the Sunday's opening price from the low to the open, way above actually. Way above. Let's take it from the first manipulation leg right here. Yeah, we are about 1 to 1.5, coming back all the way down into discount, I suppose. Let's take a look at the grading. OTE. Yeah, discount, not reaching into OTE, but just the discount of this current dealing range, and we are sort of like hanging around this area here. So if it wants to go higher, how high can it go? Let's take a look again at the sample size, projections. It can go up to here to take out the equal highs, right? So there is equal highs over here. So let's just say during New York AM later on, if price has not tagged these levels by or before 10 o'clock, then 10 o'clock I would want to look for an entry into this area here. But obviously if it runs Asia's low and then goes back higher, no, I think that would be a bad trade because we have ran out Asia's highs and lows. Therefore I should not expect expansion, right? So these are just some of my rules. Let's see, we do have a green up close candle here, right? To me, any closing prices below this green candle here will validate the short, so I'm going to shift it here. Right, so the main condition is that NQ does not take out Asia's high. As long as that is present, I'm confident in my analysis. So that's number one requirement. Second requirement will be closing below this candle here. and then that would open up for me to look for shorts. Now with this candle, let's take a look at the 1 minute. I'm going to have to use this candle's low for entry, or this down close candle here. Basically 50% of the wick for shorts, and then my stops will be this swing high here, if it confirms that as a swing high, of course, right? So if that's the case, short, I'm going to take one trade only during the London session. If I lose, so be it. Okay, I'm not going to go for another one. Just going to limit every session one trade. Alright, so we have 4 more minutes to this candle's close. Let's see. Having a slight flu, so don't mind my nose. Right. Okay, I think we're not having it. Price is just not having it. I don't like equal highs as my stops, right? But we shall see. We shall see what happens. In 3 more minutes, we're going to have the 4 p.m. opening candle. So if you take a look at the hourly chart, I would prefer the 1 hour candle to close below that 1 hour swing high in Asia. If it closes above, then it's more likely we're going to trade higher first. Same thing for NQ. Right, so because NQ is supposed to be more bearish than ES, I don't want to see NQ closing that hourly candle above the consequent encroachment of that swing high. Right, you have to refer to the chart yourself. I'm not going to do that right here. So right here you should be able to see that NQ has taken out its Asia's high, right? Because the hourly candle has closed above the consequent encroachment of that swing high. So right now we don't have a trade, and we are probably not going to have a trade today. I mean, not today, but for this session up till 4:30, due to the fact that we are in a consolidation above the previous range. Right, so this is the range. We're consolidating here, probably reaccumulation to go higher, right? That is fine with me, because as I've mentioned, if it is to go higher to attack Monday's high first, that would be way too perfect for a setup in New York, right? Because it's going to leave Asia's low like this. This is something that I like, right? I mean, to look for objectives, short objectives, right? So I think I'm gonna end the session here. I don't think there's anything else to commentate on, right? Let me give it one more chance in terms of that. Let's see if we get any stop hands here. Nope, no, there isn't anything here. The best thing I could do right now is to end the session, or take a long into Monday's high. Just kidding. Okay, right, so I think that's really about it. I don't see anything on the charts right now that would validate any trade executions, right? Yeah, but if it ever comes back down by, I mean, before 6 p.m, I mean 6 a.m, if it ever comes back down and take out Asia's low, then we're gonna have a second destroy profile for all the indices. That's not a problem for me as well. Okay, but with that said, all right, thanks for watching. We don't have a trade today, so my position is still blank, right? No open positions, no executions as of now. I'll see you again in the New York AM session, and let's hope that we get something there for today.